Hi everyone. So now we can talk about the first section of this chapter, quadratic functions and their graphs. So you are afraid of graph sketching? Okay, it should be fine. So this one is an easy one. Alright, so let's move on. Okay, so quadratic function. What's the difference between quadratic function and quadratic equation? It looks like this. Does it look very familiar for you? It's ax squared plus bx plus c, but that's a function fx, right? Okay, that's a function fx, and without letting this one to be equals to 0, right? That's quadratic equation. So now you are talking about this function itself, okay? The function ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0. Why is a not equal to 0? Because if a is equal to 0, then this term gone. So you only have something like x plus a number, okay? Something x plus a number. That one will be a linear equation. So that one will be like an equation of a line. All right. So the graph of a quadratic equation is a parabola. Okay. So this one you need to remember. Parabola. What does it mean? Okay. How does it look like? It's like a round shape here. Okay. So it's like this one is called parabola. Okay. And this one has a minimum point here. Okay. Minimum point is here. Then this is for quadratic function with a bigger than 0. Bigger than 0, as long as it's quadratic equation, quadratic function, and the a is bigger than 0, then you definitely have this graph. Okay, very certain. Okay, the other one, you have a sad face. This is a smiley face. This is a sad face. You can remember it in this way. So sad face, you have a maximum point, and then this is for the a, where a is less than 0. A is less than 0, then it gives you sad face. A is more than 0, you get a smiley face. Okay, that's how you remember for quadratic function, the graph. Okay, all right. So you have this one, okay, smiley face. You have this one, smaller than 0, sad face. Right? Okay. Right. So now, you guys might not be very familiar with quadratic equations and quadratic functions because they kind of look the same. Okay, let me just tell you some difference here. Okay, if you have general form here, this one is a quadratic equation, right? Okay, because equals 0. Okay, then example, you have this one. Okay, if you see something like this one, what would you do first? If you want to solve it, you would divide by 2 first, because you see there are common factors here, here, here. So you divide by 2 first. Then you get something like x squared minus 3x plus 2 is equals to 0. Alright, then you solve for this one. How do you solve? You can do the 3 methods, but now I'm going to do the easiest one. I mean, not the easiest, because I can see directly it's x minus 2 and x minus 1 is equal to 0. So hence, x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 1. Alright, so let's say you are having this quadratic function, which is function equal to this thing only without letting it to be equal to 0. Alright, so let's see. You have fx equals to this one. So now, a question for you. Do you think you can divide this thing by 2, so you write fx equals to x squared minus 3x plus 2? Answer is here. Cannot. Okay? No. Why? You change the nature. Fx is this means this. Okay? This one is not fx anymore. This one is what? This one is fx divided by 2. But if you see this, this is quadratic equations. Equations, so equals to 0. Then after that, here you divide by 2. Both sides divide by 2. This one divided by 2 is okay. 0 divided by 2 is what? 0 over 2 is still 0. So it's fine. Left hand side and right hand side, it's the same. But here, you see, if you divide by 2 here, left hand side, you can't be writing fx anymore, right? Okay? That's why they are different, okay? So quadratic equation, you can do simplification, can do division, multiplication. But for quadratic function, the function is this one. Means your name is f, means you are this one, okay? F is this one. No changes, okay? You are born this way, means this way, okay? Right? Alright. Then if you do this, you let y equal to fx. Okay, normally you say y equal fx, right? Okay, so you call this instead of calling it fx, you call it y sometimes, right? Okay, so y equal fx equals 0, meaning that you let fx is equals to 0, meaning that you are letting this one to be equal to 0. Then what does it mean? You let y equal 0 means you find the x-intercept, okay? The things on the x-axis, okay? The x on the x-axis, the things on the x-axis, y equals 0 means, is it y equals 0, okay? Means something in the x-axis means that's x-intercept, okay? If you let y equals 0, meaning that you let this one equal 0, meaning that you are solving for this one, which is a quadratic equation. Then you solve for it, then you see from here, the answer is x equals 2 or x equals 1. What does it mean? This one means it appears here, 1 and 2. So 1 here, this is 1, 2 here, it's 2. Means the graph of this quadratic equation, quadratic function, will pass through these 2 points. Okay, how does this pass? Okay, just now we mentioned about A. Okay, this is A. If A is bigger than 0, then you're happy. It's a smiley face. So for this case, it's a smiley face. Smiley's face and passes through these 2 points. You can guess the graph, right? Okay, it will look like this. Okay, sorry, my hand shaking maybe. Okay, so it's something like this. Okay, so that's the key point here. You need to know the difference between quadratic equation and quadratic function. One you can divide by anything, multiply by anything. The other one you can't. Okay, so let's move on. And we see here, okay, this one is what? Roots. When you solve quadratic equations, it gives you roots. When you solve for y equals 0 or fx equals 0 for quadratic function, then these are what? These are the x-intercepts, okay? X-intercepts, okay? The intersection between the function and the line axis, x-axis, okay? So that's x-intercept. The one will be roots, okay? So get some time to digest this. If you don't really understand this one, you finish this whole lecture, then you rewind and come back to this slide and think about it again, okay? All right, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, types of roots. This one you have done it previously already. Okay, so let's see what is this. Recall that you have ax squared plus bx plus c. This is equals 0. This is general form for quadratic equations. Then b squared minus 4ac greater than 0 means there are 2 roots. Okay, 2 real roots. And equals 0 means you have repeated roots. Means something like x minus 2 times x minus 2 is equals 0. So this is like repeated roots. All right. Then so that one will be 1 root, right? Because here x equal to 1 root only. Okay. B squared minus 4ac is less than 0 means you don't have any real roots. Means what will happen is that it might be on top. Okay. So that there's no intersection. Okay. So you get to know this later. Okay. So when we know what's a graph, then you can see these things even clearer. All right. Roots, okay, just now left hand side, roots of quadratic equations is the x-intercepts of quadratic function right hand side, okay? So that's what you need to remember, okay? You solve for quadratic equation, what is that for? Okay, that is the x-intercepts, okay? So for example, so this one, b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, means there's one root for the equation means 1 x-intercept for the function. Meaning that if you have this thing over here, then the graph probably looks like this. This is 2. So there's only 1 intersection point here, okay, with the x-axis. So that's 1 intercept. Okay? Right, I guess you're doing well. Let's move on. Okay, types of roots and graphs. So when you have b squared minus 4ac is bigger than 0, then you have 2 real roots. Okay, 2 real roots means what? 2 intersection with the x-axis or 2 x-intercepts. Okay, so you have a bigger than 0. It looks like what? Smiley face, smiley face. Then it should look like these 2. Okay, there are 2 intersection points there. Okay, see that? All right. In another case, when a is less than 0, it gives you a sad face, 2 intersection points. Okay, so very important when you look at a quadratic function, you look at A to determine whether it's smiling or it's being sad. Okay? Alright, next case, b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0. So you have one real root. One real root for the quadratic equation, but one what? X-intercept for the quadratic function. Okay? Don't use it wrongly. Roots is for equation. X-intercept is for function. Okay, one real root means one intersection. So A begins 0. It's smiling and one intersection point. So it should look like something like this one. Okay, one point here. Okay, of course it can move here and move there. Okay, one more thing. This smiley and sad thing, what does that call? What do you call that? That's a parabola. Okay, remember that? Parabola. Alright? Okay, so for this one, you know it's going to be a less than 0 and the graph will look like this because one intersection point. Okay, I guess you are pro now. Let's move on to talk about the last case when it has no real root. No real root for the equation means no x-intercept for the function. No x-intercept means no intersection. So if you have a bigger than 0, it's smiling and not touching x-axis. Can it be here? No. Can it be here? No. It can only be up there. Okay? Up there. And no intersection point. So for this case, this is a less than 0. It will be down there because it cannot go across. If it goes across, then there are two intersection points or at least one intersection point. So now a summary for you. You have all these three cases. When a is bigger than 0, it's always smiling. When a is less than 0, it's always a sad face. Then you see what's the difference here. Bigger than 0, two real roots, two intersection. Then equals 0, one real root, one intersection. Then this one, no intersection with the x-axis. Okay, so no roots, right? So I guess you're clear. Just take a few seconds to take a look at this one. Then we proceed for some questions. Okay, all right, great. Okay, so smiley face, then you have this, then two intersection point, sad face, two intersection point, if it's bigger than 0. Okay, then intersect x-axis at 2 points. Okay, remember that. 1 point, x-intercept, 1 point as well. No roots means something above if it's smiling, means something below it's being sad. Okay, so you have no intersection. All right, no problem. Right. Okay, so now your time to guess. Okay, you guess this one belongs to which of this. Okay, so how do I determine? I don't even know the graph, right? Okay, but you know something. You know b squared minus 4ac, right? Something like about that. Okay, b squared minus 4ac and also the coefficient. So this one, a is bigger than 0 because a is 1. Okay, how about this one? A is less than 0. This one, a is bigger than 0. This one, I'm looking at this one or not? No, I'm looking at coefficient of x squared, which is this one. So this one, okay. So a is also less than 0. So I give you a hint first. You see, bigger than 0. Bigger than 0 means it's smiling. Smiling means it's either this answer or this answer. Correct? Okay. So means this one is either this one or this one. So I don't know how to guess. So let's do this and try. Okay, what we do, okay, this one I write smiling first, this one I write sad, smiling, and this is sad again. Okay, so what I do, I need to figure out what's a b squared minus 4ac. Okay, I don't need calculator, you might need, or maybe you can go with me. Okay, b squared means 4 minus 4 times this 1 times -3. So means 4 plus what? 4 times 3, the 12. Okay, so you add them up. So it will be bigger than 0. b squared minus 4ac bigger than 0. Bigger than 0 means it is having two intersection points with the x-axis. Then it should be this one, right? Okay. because it's smiling and 2 intersection points means 2 x-intercepts, so it should be this one. Alright, next one, b squared is 4 minus 4 times -1 times -1, so it becomes what? 0, because negative cancel, then you have still one more -4ac, right? So this one you get 0. 0 means what? B squared minus 4ac equals 0 means 1 intersection point with the x-axis, and this one a is less than 0, so it's crying, and 1 intersection point is that one. Next one, this one, b squared is 1, 4 times 3 times 5, of course it's bigger than b squared, right? Okay, so b squared minus 4ac will be less than 0. Less than 0 means it is what? Having no intersection with the x-axis. No intersection in smiling, or this one, right? Okay, last one here. So what we are going to do here, although we know the answer is there already, but we're going to rewrite this as -x squared, then minus x, then plus 2. So you can see clearly which one is a, which one is b, which one is c. So b squared is 1 minus 4 times -1, so it becomes positive. So you know that this is going to be positive already, right? Okay. If b squared minus 4ac is bigger than 0, meaning that it is having 2 intercepts, x-intercepts. And so this one is what? Crying. Okay, it's crying. Two intercepts and crying this graph. So, okay. Guess you're fine, right? Okay, I guess you're fine. So it's not a difficult question. So let's move on to the next one. Right, so problem solving now. So you're given fx equals to something with k over there. Then it intersects the x-axis at 2 points. Okay, so it's a hint. And find the range of k. So intersect in x-axis at 2 points. What does it mean? It means that b squared minus 4ac is bigger than 0. So you have your ABC, I write it down properly. So b squared minus 4ac is bigger than 0. Hence, what we do, we are going to put this thing into here and solve for it. Okay, means this one, expand it. Then what we get is this one. So divide over, we get k is bigger than 4 over 3. Okay, no problem. It's a simple one. So this one means the range of k. So what value can k be? Bigger than some number, smaller than some number, or what? Okay, all right. So this is the final answer. So range of k. Okay, now this one I want you to try it. Okay, the graph does not meet the x-axis. What does it mean? Okay, you think about it. Pause the video and try this. All right, so let's come back to this. So does not meet the x-axis means b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. No real roots. Okay, so that's why does not meet, or no x-intercept, or no intersection with the x-axis. They mean the same thing. Right. So what we do, plug it in, solve for the quadratic equation, inequality. So move the things over to the other side. I mean, I move the -12 to the other side, then I interchange, because you normally write things like something less than something. Okay, left hand side is smaller. Okay, so you write in this way. Normally you should have the things, but you want to have the k in front of it. Okay, so that's why you write in this way. Okay, k is bigger than 8. Okay, so that's the range. Okay, so now no problem, I just know that one. Okay, so now, okay, next move on to this one. Fx is equal to -x squared plus 2x plus 3 for the domain x between -2 to 4. So you're going to sketch this thing in your exam. So maybe they will ask you to draw like a table to sketch it, or you have to, based on this one, to draw a graph. Okay, this is the first class that I'm talking about graph. That's why what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this table, okay, then plug in the points. So you plot the points and so on. Later on, when you see this one, you'll never use this one anymore. Okay, this is the first time. And also, at the same time, I teach you how to use your calculator. All right, so let's move on. So I have all this here. What I'm going to do here is that I am gonna sub things in. So I didn't need to know these values, right? Okay, I need to know these values. So I kind of calculate. But you know, like your calculator can help you with this one. Okay, this one, I guess you know how to find, right? You substitute -2 into here, you get -5. You substitute -1 into here, you get 0, and so on. Okay, now I'm going to teach you how to use calculator. Okay, first, you key in this thing, which is your function, into your calculator. How do you key in that? Okay, you see an x here. Okay, you see an x here. So what you do alpha x, then you get the x over there. Okay, so now what I want you to do is to key in this thing in your calculator. Okay, next step, what do you do? After you got this thing already, this equation, that the one that you want to plug in values, right? Okay, this equation. Then you press this calculate or solve equal sign. Okay, after you press it, what will happen? It will ask you for x values, ask you x question mark, meaning that now you are going to input the x value that you want to put in so that you can find the y value. Okay, so what we do, we want to key in, let's say -2, right? -2, we key in, so we put -2 here. We press -2, okay, here. Then we don't press this equal sign or this calculator. We press this equal sign. Okay, you follow, right? Okay, press this equal sign. What will happen? It tells you this thing will be equal to -5. Okay, then you're done, right? Okay, just now you put -2 inside, then you press that equal sign, then it pops out -5. Means you get -5 for this. Okay, good thing about this is what? You don't have to key in again. You don't have to key in the same function again. You can continue using this one. Okay, what do you do next? You do calculate. You press this button again. You press this button again, calculate. Then they will ask you for x question mark again. Then if they ask you x question marks, then what do? You press -1 and you press equal sign. Then you get the answer again. So you will finish this whole table in maybe less than 20 seconds. Okay, that's very convenient, right? Okay, so this thing you will need to use it. Maybe it will help you in this whole exam. Okay, so this method or this substitution thing, I think it's better for you to know it so that you can check answer or what. It will help you. Okay, it will help you. Okay, so let's get rid of this calculator. It's useless now. All right, you got this one. Okay, so look at the table and how you plot the graphs. Okay, I got that graph over there. I want to plot x is -2, the y is fx, right, is -5. So I plot that. Wait, that's the other one. Okay, that's -1 and 0. But anyway, I will do this. Okay, then 0, 1, 4, and you got that. Okay, so I forgot to plot this point already, but it's okay. I will plot it here. Okay, then I have that one, and 4 is -5, so it's here. Okay, then you get your graph. So it looks like a sad face, as we have talked about it before. This is negative, which is less than 0. So that's why you get a sad face. Then if you compute the b squared minus 4ac, it should be what? What's the value? Bigger than 0 equals 0 or less than 0? It should be bigger than 0 because you have 2 intersection points with the x-axis, right? That's how you do it, okay? So this is the first time, that's why I use table to plot it one by one like a noob, but it's okay. So that's the first time only. All right, so this one will be the maximum point because it's a sad face, there's a maximum. And you have this axis of symmetry, right? Axis of symmetry, okay? X equals to 1 is the axis of symmetry. Because it's axis of symmetry, right? So you cannot say 1 is axis of symmetry. You have to say x equals to 1 is the axis of symmetry. Okay? Just be careful. So you see, all the parabola, there's an axis of symmetry. Okay? Left hand side and right side looks exactly the same. Okay? Then it's either having maximum or minimum point depending on whether it's a sad face or a smiley face. Alright. Okay, moving one side. Then what we know here is that a is less than 0, hence you have this sad face. then roots or x-intercept is -1 and 3, correct? Okay, I mean, you can solve for it. Okay, you solve for it. Now I just tell you the answer first at this moment. Okay, then axis of symmetry is x equal 1. Then coordinate of maximum point is 1, 4. Let's say I know all this information. Do I know how to sketch this graph? Okay, I sketch for you. You see. Okay, first thing I see is that x-intercept is -1 and 3. So I put -1 here and 3 over here. Okay. Then I want it to look like a sad face. Then and I know axis of symmetry is 1. So 1 is axis of symmetry. I draw a dotted line. Okay, I draw a dotted line. So it should be symmetrical about this line. Okay, so this is x equals to 1. Alright, and I know the maximum point is 1, 4. So 4 is maybe here. Just guessing, this is 1, 4. Right? Okay, I want to draw a sad face, joining all these things. So easy. I hope I'm not shaking my hands. Okay, so this one shouldn't be sharp. It should be a rounded corner, but I'm just drawing here, so it shouldn't look it wouldn't look very nice. But you know, like it's the same, right? Okay, it's a nicer graph here because you have time to slowly like plot it, make it round. It should not be a sharp corner. No such thing. Okay, no such thing. Okay, it should be a round version. Okay, then you get some graph like this. Alright, so if you got all this information, you can sketch a graph. That's what we are going to do. Okay, we are not going to plot the points like one by one. Right, next one. Okay, so now it's about the end of the class. So let's talk about the keywords. Quadratic function is fx. It's not something equals 0 anymore. So intersects, cuts, meets the x-axis at something. What does it mean? Means you have, if you have 2 points, means it is bigger than 0, b squared minus 4ac. If you have 1 point, means equals 0, and you know how does it look like already. And does not intersect, or does not cut, or does not meet the x-axis, that one is the same thing. Means b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. Alright, very easy. So fx is always positive, means that one. Fx is always negative, means this one. Okay, if this one and this one together, it tells you this one also the same thing. Okay, so it says fx always positive. It means what? There's no intersection, right, with the x-axis. That's why it looks like this one. Means automatically this one means this one. Okay, so you got to be careful how the question is worded. Okay, so it's worded this way, positive also means this one, always negative also means this one. Okay, but then you need to know always negative means a is less than 0, and this one happens. Okay, that's it. Alright, I'll see you soon. Okay, but we have some problems for you, so you try this at home and we reveal the answers afterwards. Okay, so these are your problems for today.